Shell Petroleum. She is the financial advisor over there.
Because there are so many perceptions and most of them are not true at all. 90% चीज़ें भी अगर check हो जाएंगी तो I am good with this opportunity to go forward with. You are into the industry, you are in a good company, you keep getting approached by different headhunters. One thing that matters to me is the values that are associated with the company. That's another skill that chartered accountancy has brought into me. I was suggested to do ACCA instead of CA. Worldwide also the credibility and the reputation that Pakistani CAs have is so strong that it makes CA a more premium qualification as compared to others.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। सब कहते हैं लड़कियां ये नहीं कर सकती, लड़कियां वो नहीं कर सकती, और कभी कभी तो हमें ये भी सुनने को मिलता है कि लड़की है इस फील्ड में सही रहेगी, ये काम ये कर सकेगी, क्या ये कंप्लीट पढ़ाई पढ़ेगी, और अगर पढ़ लेगी तो सीट ज़ाया तो नहीं करेगी। So to answer all these questions, we have a very special guest today. She is not just someone who has completed her chartered accountancy, but also landed up in one of the biggest industry in Pakistan, and that's Shell Petroleum. She is the financial advisor over there. Let's meet Miss Maria Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम आलिया, कैसी हैं आप?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक, आप बताइए मारिया।
Great.
And you're looking really nice today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so मारिया, क्योंकि आपके साथ इतने सारे टाइटल्स अटैच हैं और आपकी एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सी जर्नी है और आपने चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी जैसी मुश्किल फील्ड का इंतखाब किया और उसके बाद उसमें सिर्फ उसको पढ़ा, उसे कंप्लीट नहीं किया बल्कि उसे यूटिलाइज भी कर रही हैं। सो वी आर गोइंग टू आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड एवरीथिंग व्हाट यू हैव डन अप टिल नाउ, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम योर एकेडमिक जर्नी। अच्छा मारिया, ये बताएं कि जब आप छोटी थी और आपने स्कूलिंग स्टार्ट की तो क्या आप बचपन से ही कॉमर्स या अकाउंटिंग या नंबर्स में इन्वॉल्व थी, या फिर आपकी भी अलग डिफरेंट जो है वो हॉबीज़ थी या आपके डिफरेंट इंटरेस्ट थे, और किस तरीके से आप जो है इस तरफ इंक्लाइन हुई कि नंबर्स आर माई टाइम?
Yeah. So I'm going to take you through my childhood a bit. Let's start from my schooling. So मेरी जो schooling है right from kindergarten till intermediate, the entire schooling and college part is from 𝐵𝐴 College. It's a college run by armed forces. So it has a junior section as well as a primary section as well as a secondary section. So पूरी जो है वो मेरी right from kindergarten till intermediate I have done my education from 𝐵𝐴 College.
Okay.
This was because my father was in Navy. So we used to live in a naval compound. So इस naval compound के अंदर, in all the naval compounds there is a 𝐵𝐴 College. So all of us naval kids, we end up landing into 𝐵𝐴 only for our education. Okay. So that's the reason why I went to that school or college for my education. And if you were, and then you were asking if I was always into numbers and commerce. That's not the case. I was a very fun-loving person. In fact, I am a very fun-loving person. So, I was a lot into sports as well. I was very sporty. I was into basketball. I used to love playing basketball. I was a great swimmer. I'm still a great swimmer. I still swim. So these are a few of my hobbies. And then I used to have a very good social circle as well. Great friends who used to have fun together, roam around. So a very normal childhood. Everything very normal, nothing extraordinary, nothing like being a nerd or being totally into numbers or commerce only. It was a very very normal childhood, alhamdulillah.
तो फिर किस तरीके से नंबर्स की तरफ जो है वो आपका सारा इंक्लिनेशन आया और कैसे ये इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हुआ?
हाँ, सो इंटरेस्ट इस तरह से डेवलप हुआ कि आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जैसे जैसे ऑब्वियसली आप ग्रो करते हैं तो आप रियलाइज़ करते हैं कि आपको कौन सा सब्जेक्ट आपको ज़्यादा पसंद है, कौन सा नहीं है. सो मैथ्स जो है मेरा हमेशा से फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट होता था, एंड आई यूज़ टू लव मैथ्स एंड आई यूज़ टू बी फेवरेट स्टूडेंट ऑफ ऑल माई मैथ्स टीचर्स. हर ग्रेड के अंदर मैथ्स टीचर की मैं जो फेवरेट स्टूडेंट होती थी. सो आई यूज़ टू लव numbers in a sense that I used to enjoy subjects that involve numbers.
Okay.
So उस वहाँ से मुझे अपना इंटरेस्ट समझ में आ गया था कि मेरी इंक्लिनेशन क्या है एंड मुझे नेचुरली व्हाट आई एम गुड एट. सही है। उसके बाद फिर ऑब्वियसली वंस यू स्टार्ट टू डिसाइड कि आपने क्या करियर परसू करना है एंड वेयर यू वांट टू सी योरसेल्फ इन द फ्यूचर इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्रोफेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन, तो मैंने डिफरेंट डिग्रीज़ के बारे में पढ़ा, सुना, रिसर्च की, जिसमें से चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी के बारे में भी मुझे पता चला। सो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी के बारे में जब मुझे पता चला तो मुझे बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग फील्ड लगी, इन अ सेंस के आई गॉट टू नो कि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी में आपका once you invest your time into it and once you're done with it, you do get a short job out of it. So ये जो एक पॉइंट था ना, इसने मुझे इतना अट्रैक्ट किया कि then I started studying more about it.
अच्छा, तो लाइक जॉब इज़ द फोकस। आपने कैसे सोचा कि आपको चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी करनी है?
बहुत ही अच्छा सवाल है, क्योंकि नॉर्मली लड़कियां जो होती हैं वो मेडिकल की फील्ड में जाती हैं, उनको यही बताया जाता है कि डॉक्टर बन जाओ, एंड अगर बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ तो डॉक्टर नहीं तो इंजीनियर बन जाओ। सो मेरी जर्नी भी थोड़ी सी उस तरह की ही है कि व्हेन आई वाज ग्रोइंग अप एंड व्हाइल आई वाज इन माय कॉलेज, दैट इज़ व्हेन यू गेट टू डिसाइड कि आपने क्या फील्ड चूज़ करनी है, स्पेशली व्हेन यू मूव फ्रॉम योर 10th grade to 1st grade and you have to choose a major that you want to go for pre-engineering or you want to go for pre-medical or pre-commerce. So everyone around me used to tell me कि डॉक्टर ही सही फील्ड होती है, लड़की हो डॉक्टर सही रहेगा, वहाँ पे कंफर्टेबल रहती हैं, मैक्सिमम लड़कियाँ होती हैं वहाँ पे। सो एंड देन द टीचर्स की भी जो प्रेफरेंस थी वो बहुत ज़्यादा मेडिकल की तरफ थी। आई वॉज अ ब्राइट स्टूडेंट, आई वॉज गुड, आई वॉज स्टूडियस, आई वॉज हार्ड वर्किंग, सो ऑल माई टीचर्स दे ऑलवेज सजेस्टेड मी कि आप मेडिकल की तरफ जाएँ या फिर आप इंजीनियरिंग की तरफ जाएँ। But I had a different viewpoint at that point of time. I got to know about chartered accountancy for somewhere, and I also got to know that although it's difficult, but once it's done, the return on investment is very high. That is, you get the job very easily. It's a lucrative profession. You get the reward of your efforts. So why I chose chartered accountancy was, when I was deciding, I wanted to invest my good 4-5 years into something where I get a reward out of it. कि मैं अगर 4-5 साल इतनी मेहनत कर रही हूँ तो उसके बाद मुझे शॉर्ट जॉब मिले कि I can get a return out of it. So CA के बारे में जब मैंने थोड़ा बहुत एक्सप्लोर किया, लोगों से बातचीत वगैरह की, तो मुझे एक ये बहुत ज़्यादा फीडबैक मिला था कि you don't have to invest a lot of money, but you get a good return on it. So the ROI is very high. So that thing clicked me, and that was one major reason why I wanted to do it. Then everyone used to tell me कि बहुत challenging होगा, मुश्किल होगा, बहुत hard work करनी पड़ती है, consistency and everything. So like I said, I had that thing in me. I was hardworking, I was studious, and when you're young, you want to go for challenges, and आप ambitious होते हैं, you're aggressive, you're high on energy. So was I. So I wanted to do something challenging. So the thing that it's people used to tell me it's very difficult, it actually motivated me to go for it. So when everyone used to tell me that it's very challenging, that actually made me more inclined towards it. Okay, I want to try it. I want to test myself if I can do it or not. So yeah, that's how I made up my mind and I went for it. आपने इस इंट्रोडक्शन में भी बोला कि लड़की है तो इसके लिए फील्ड ठीक रहेगी या नहीं रहेगी, इसको इस फील्ड में जाना चाहिए या नहीं जाना चाहिए। सो जब मैंने भी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी की बात अपने घर में जब की तो माय फादर ऑब्वियसली बीइंग अ प्रोटेक्टिव फादर, ही सेड कि इट्स अ वेरी मेल डोमिनेटेड फील्ड, सो आर यू रियली श्योर दैट यू वांट टू गो इन इट, बिकॉज यू माइट नॉट हैव द सेम कंफर्ट लेवल इफ़ यू गो टू एनी अदर यूनिवर्सिटी जहाँ पे एक बैलेंस्ड रेशियो होगा या एक अच्छा रेशियो होगा मेल टू फीमेल, and you will feel more comfortable. So there is this perception, and that becomes a hindrance, and that becomes a negative point when someone is thinking to go for this field. But that's a complete myth. It's a very comfortable field for women. The career, the corporate world where you end up, it's so protective of women, and you have such women-friendly policies at every point of time, at each phase of your life when you start your CA journey. So that's a myth. We can talk about it in detail as well. But coming back to my journey, yes, I also faced this कि जो है male dominated. Even my teachers told me कि हमने सुना है कि बहुत male dominated है. वही बात है, लैक ऑफ अवेयरनेस होती है जिसकी वजह से जो है
इस तरह के
परसेप्शंस के बनते हैं, फिर उसको स्प्रेड आउट भी होते हैं। बट आई थिंक मेरी प्रायोरिटी जो थी उस टाइम पे वो ज़्यादा ये थी कि इट्स ओके इफ़ इट्स चैलेंजिंग, इट्स ओके इफ़ इट्स नॉट कम्फर्टेबल, इट्स ओके इफ़ इट्स डिफ़िकल्ट, बट इट शुड बी वर्थ इट।
ग्रेट।
and it proved to be worth it.
Definitely, we can see
It
that.
proved to be worth it. No, honestly, in a sense that this profession is actually very lucrative. It's a very, very rewarding profession. So I'm speaking from my own experience. जब ऑब्वियसली एक होता है कि आपने सोचा होता है, यू ड्रीम के आप ठीक है मैं ये चीज़ इसलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मुझे ये मिलेगा इससे. I have experienced the entire journey and I've actually reaped out of it way more than I dreamt of.
Wow, excellent.
These are my very honest words. It was the right decision I took.
Great. So seeing your excitement and your passion still, which is still alive, and that's the big thing. इस पे मैं ये पूछ रही थी आपसे, जो मेरा next question बनता कि the thing is कि आपने कहा कि आपने शुरू में बहुत सारे इस तरह की चीज़ें देखी जो कि barrier की तरह हैं, लेकिन you have accepted the challenge that you're going to be in this field because you have seen, you have foresighted the thing ना कि क्या क्या इसमें आपको lucrative नज़र आ रहा था. So how have you come to know that this is a very lucrative field while doing your CA? Because आपको भी पता है, like after CAF you people are going in articleship. So when you go for articleship, so how have you decided that you know this would be the field और मुझे industry में ही आगे land करना है?
So मैंने जब CA स्टार्ट किया था तो obviously आपको उतनी डिटेल में चीज़ों का नहीं पता होता है. But I would say कि जैसे जैसे चीज़ें unfold हुई हैं वो they unfolded in a good way only. In a sense that I started off working way earlier than my peers and my age fellows, my college fellows who went for different fields.
ठीक है.
Yeah, so जो articleship होती है, वहाँ से भी एक perception आया हुआ है कि you know the starting pay is very less, या फिर आपको articleship में बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है and आपको बहुत कम stipend मिल रही होती है. So we need to understand over here कि आप articleship किस point of time के ऊपर कर रहे हैं. You start articleship just 2 years into your pursuance towards a qualification. Yeah. So आप कोई भी डिग्री स्टार्ट करते हैं तो हर डिग्री पाकिस्तान में 4 साल की तो कम से कम है.
Exactly.
So minimum everywhere you have to spend 4 years.
Exactly.
So others, if you go for some other degree, you won't be earning anything at all. Yeah. While in CA, this articleship is actually part of your qualification or part of your
training
process. Yeah, it's part of your education. So CA की जो बेस्ट बात है या फिर जो उसका सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट है कि वाई CA is a premium qualification or why CA is considered to be so strong in Pakistan as well as worldwide is because of the on-field experience that we get in the qualification, because this is a qualification which is a combination of your books as in the reading material and all the reading and writing part, as well as on-field mandatory experience that you have to obtain, which is called as articleship.
Okay.
Yeah. So that gives you a very good exposure that develops you or matures you out for the corporate world very early in life, because just 2 years studying your chartered accountancy, you step into the phase where you have to do articleship.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you get the exposure of real life, a real corporate world. You get the maturity of how to operate. You have different trainings in these firms that groom you, that develop you. So they add a lot of value to you in a very early stage in life.
Great. So you just used a word that when you were doing it, तो आप कह रही थी कि आपने आहिस्ते आहिस्ते चीज़ों को unfold किया, because obviously these knowledge comes usually with time and you know experience as well. जब आप पढ़ रहे होते हैं, फिर आप articleship में जाते हैं, आप लोगों से मिलते हैं, networking and everything. So you when you finished, so what are the choices you found in the end कि ये सारी choices हैं मेरे लिए जिसमें से अब मैं कुछ select कर सकती हूँ. So how do you get the choices and what made you choose industry over firm?
Yeah. So once you are qualified, the qualification opens a lot of doors for you. You get a lot of choices. You have a choice to stay with the firm. You have a choice to go to industry, because there is a good demand for chartered accountants in industry. It's a good, healthy job market for chartered accountants.
Okay.
And then you have the choice to move abroad. That is to go outside Pakistan as well. Because Pakistani chartered accountants, they are respected all over. They hold a very strong credibility worldwide, and they have a lot of respect. And obviously it's the alumni and the chartered accountants, Pakistani chartered accountants who are already working all over the world, who have developed such strong picture and such strong credibility of this profession and this qualification. So and we, the younger ones, we get to leverage it. we are reaping the fruit that they have sown for us. ये आपके पास सारी choices होती हैं. Now जब मैंने अपनी qualification complete की थी and मेरी articleship भी complete हुई, तो मेरे पास भी ये option था कि मैं firm के अंदर रुकना चाहूँ या फिर मैं industry की तरफ जाना चाहूँ. अच्छा, इंडस्ट्री के अंदर बेनिफिट्स कुछ इस तरह के ज़्यादा होते हैं कि आपको एक कमर्शियल सेंस या कमर्शियल एक्सपोजर मिलता है. So if you're someone who likes to explore the commercial side of the business and who is also good with meeting people, developing good relationships and and managing the commercial aspect of a business,
interpersonal skills,
yeah, if you have strong interpersonal skills, you have strong communication skills, you should definitely explore for industry options.
Okay.
Because in industry, what is really important is, I'm going to emphasize on this point, because all those who are aspiring to go towards the industry path, what really works is your ability to develop relationship with people.
Okay.
How well you network with people, how well you communicate, because in industry you have a number of stakeholders that you have to deal with on day-to-day basis.
ठीक है.
While in firm, there's a deliverable that you have to provide to a client, which is after a certain span of time. In industry, it's a bit different. You are providing a deliverable to a stakeholder every single day. You have a number of stakeholders because you are you're
at the front line.
Yeah, you're in the front line, and being in finance, you are supporting a lot of departments. You're supporting the sales department, you're supporting the marketing department in making decisions. These are impactful, influential decisions that you're supporting in an organization.
Okay.
So, managing those stakeholders, helping them to take their decisions, all of this requires strong interpersonal skills, as well as your and then you should enjoy the process. At the end of the day, you should be where you enjoy it, you feel like, yeah, I belong to this place and this is what I want to do. So so for industry, if you feel like that you enjoy managing stakeholders, meeting people, communicating with people a lot, and providing your support services, so that's your place then.
Okay, so in short, what you just said is that if you are someone who is a very strong communication skills and who has the ability to connect with people and who believes in networking more, so I think industry is a good option for them. And someone who is more technical and they think that they can work in their own space better, rather than always engaging in some sort of a conversation or in kind of a connection building, I can say. तो इसलिए फिर वो audit की तरफ भी जा सकते हैं और फर्म्स को भी
थोड़ा सा इसके अंदर एक टेक्निकल साइड भी है कि ऑडिट जो है एक डिफरेंट फील्ड है, इट्स अ डिफरेंट नेचर ऑफ वर्क. एंड इंडस्ट्री के अंदर द नेचर ऑफ वर्क इज वेरी डिफरेंट. ऑब्वियसली जब आप इंडस्ट्री में होते हैं तो द कोर फाइनेंस इज अराउंड प्रोवाइडिंग बिजनेस सपोर्ट. It's finance business partnering. That is the main core finance that you are expected to do in industry. Yeah, so that's a different whole
so
together.
Like
different
you just said that like you're going to support. You are the support provider to all different departments of the industry.
Departments
so in a way you are connected to all the departments and the main business.
Yeah.
ठीक है.
So you're more towards the commercial side of the business. Then in audit you have to provide
that's
assurance,
specific
and that's a very specific service that you're providing. So it depends what kind of work you want to do, what nature of work you enjoy.
So how do you develop, I mean, how do you understand, or I must say कि आपने कैसे identify किया कि your personality is much more suitable for industry?
Okay, so जब मेरा chartered accountancy qualify हुआ था, and I started looking around कि okay, now what options do I have? There was this opening in Unilever, so I applied for it, and I was alhamdulillah lucky enough that I got into it. So I kind of went with the flow as well, in a sense that Unilever is a big brand name.
Yeah, of course.
So everyone told me कि oh, you have landed the dream job, so you should definitely go for it. So I went for it, and that's where my journey of being in commercial finance started. And that's where I identified that okay, I like this thing, I'm good at it, and I'm enjoying it as well. So things unfold for you. You experiment, you realize, you learn from your mistakes. Obviously बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती हैं जिसमें आप गलतियाँ भी करते हैं, आप उसे सीखते हैं, then you go ahead with or move on with life. So I think मैंने जो realize किया था कि industry is the place, because I was enjoying being in an environment where where there's a business and I get to
There's a flavor of everything.
Yeah, there's a flavor of everything, and there's a lot of relationship management, and there's a lot of input that you can that you can give for the commercial side of the business. That is, you can be a voice in important decisions of the company. So that really thrills me.
Great.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a very growing environment. So growth अच्छी खासी नजर आ रही है इंडस्ट्री में, और especially you landed up in Unilever. अच्छा, ग्रोथ के हिसाब से तो जो आप बता रही हैं, सो ये तो बड़ी ज़बरदस्त सी चीज़ है, and it's a very lucrative company which हमने भी उसके बारे में पढ़ा और आप भी तो वहाँ रह चुकी हैं. So how is it in terms of salary or the the fresher's salary I'm talking about? I'm not talking about the actual thing. I'm just talking about कि जैसे आप कह रहे freshly graduate जो जब apply करते हैं. So because this is the question which I think I have seen in many of my podcasts, that students are more interested, because we all living in third world and we cannot deny it. The inflation is also there. So everybody is now looking up to their remuneration. So that's the first question which usually they ask, and they are very much keenly interested to know कि भाई किस तरह के packages होते हैं, were they feasible enough कि उनकी एक तरह की मतलब it's a decent package, or they have to look for something else as well.
Yeah. So from package wise as well, industry is a good place to be in, because industries, they pay you well, they pay you market competitive, then they give you a lot of benefits as well.
Okay.
There is medical insurance, there is car policy, then there are very good policies and procedures that are implemented in most of the multinationals, as well as, if I talk about not the multinationals, but even our local companies are learning from obviously the developed world and from the multinationals. So the policies and procedures that protect you and provide you a safe environment to work in, that is also very important, because in industry you get a good culture. It is ensured that the company is maintaining a good, healthy culture for its employees. So mental well-being is something which I have seen that in industry is really, really focused on. We have these mental health professionals, mental health experts who are onboarded at all times, who ensure that you're being taken care of from the mental health perspective as well. And as well as physical health, they've already done a lot on the physical health front. Now their focus is on the mental health side. So it's a complete package. Yeah, so it has the cash element, which is good. Like I said, it's market competitive. You are safe if you're going for industry on that side. Then there are assistances like an assistance on car, assistance on medical side. Then there is an environment perspective, that is the company is responsible. Each company thrives to develop a good environment. The fourth thing that is good about industry is that you get work-life balance as well.
And so I think that's the most important thing.
That's very important. As you grow in life, you realize that you have a much larger purpose in life, and you want to invest time on things that are other than work. You have a limited life. You want to you have different goals, and everyone has a right to have different goals. So you need to have that flexibility to achieve every kind of goal that you have. You can't just spend your entire strength and your entire talent on just one thing, and that's work.
Exactly.
So work-life balance is very important, and a lot of companies, especially the companies that I've been associated with, for example, the current company, Shell, I would really like to appreciate Shell Pakistan for maintaining a very healthy work environment as well as work-life balance for its employees.
So that's a good point you raised कि work-life balance is very important. अच्छा, work-life balance से मुझे एक और interesting बात याद आई. जब आप पढ़ रही थी, usually हमें ये एक perception और develop हुआ है students में कि CA है तो means social life zero, कहीं आना जाना zero, सबसे आपके connections कट जाते हैं, because you need to give complete focus, and it's a very rigorous process to complete that qualification. So how true is it in your case?
It's not true. I don't know from where all these perceptions keep coming in, because there are so many perceptions and most of them are not true at all. This is another myth that is associated. That कि chartered accountant जो है वो बहुत मुश्किल है. CA मुश्किल नहीं है. CA मुश्किल नहीं है, बहुत ही एक नॉर्मल क्वालिफिकेशन है. जिस तरह से दूसरी क्वालिफिकेशंस हैं, उसी तरह से आप CA भी कर सकते हैं in terms of the time that you have to give and in terms of the hard work that you have to put in. But yes, it's a very premium qualification. The competency that is associated with the qualification is very strong. It equips you with a very strong competency level. But this perception that you will have to, completely kill your social life and आप इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं और बहुत rigorous है, ये सब चीज़ें जो है एक myth है. I think probably because of lack of awareness and because ये profession इतना ज़्यादा market नहीं किया गया in the past, and because of the limited number of CA members, people have developed this perception कि क्योंकि इतने कम chartered accountants हैं तो probably ये बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल होगा.
Okay.
But that's not the case. So you can maintain a good social life, you can play sports along with it, or whatever your hobbies are, you can very well maintain your hobbies along with it, and you can continue with this profession.
Okay, great. So when you were in Unilever, and you said that you have a very healthy environment over there and every policy is something which is going to favor the employee. So what made you decide to move to Shell, Pakistan?
Mm-hmm. So it was for better opportunity for growth that I moved to Shell. Shell के अंदर एक opportunity आई हुई थी, I applied for it and I was lucky enough to get into it. I am so proud to be associated with an organization like Shell that has such a strong legacy of bringing all the firsts in Pakistan. So be it safety, be it the commercial side, be it consumer satisfaction, be it consumer experience that you get at a fuel pump. From every perspective, Shell has this thing to its head that it is the first one to be the first in market.
So they are the trailblazer of all of these perks.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
They are the first ones to bring in all these aspects or all these learnings into the Pakistani market. So it's a huge honor to be associated with such an organization. So competency level wise, from learning perspective also, it's an amazing organization, and then at the same time it provides you amazing work-life balance. It provides you amazing work culture. The policies are very healthy. The policies are very woman friendly. The policies are very human friendly, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
They're very people oriented. The element
That's
of
great.
care, the element of respect is so strong in the organization that they make sure that they are able to claim that they are a very people oriented organization.
Wonderful. So on this point, I just want to know कि usually जब एक company से दूसरी company में लोग switch कर रहे होते हैं, so they have something, one or two element in their mind what they usually look for.
Yeah.
तो वो ऐसा क्या element था जो आपने देखा कि ये element अगर मुझे किसी company में मिल जाएगा, so definitely I'll switch, because obviously working in one MNC और वो भी इतनी ज़बरदस्त जहाँ पे हर चीज़ आपको provide की जा रही है on a very first note, तो फिर वहाँ से निकलने के लिए भी आपको एक माइंड बनाना होता है, या वहां से भी कहीं पे भी अप्लाई करने के लिए यू नीड टू मेक अ माइंड. सो व्हाट वाज दैट वन एलिमेंट व्हिच स्टक इन योर माइंड और व्हिच कम्स इन योर माइंड, जिसको आपने सोचा कि भाई ये जो चीज है ये अगर मुझे कहीं नजर आई तो डेफिनेटली आई विल लीव यूनिलीवर.
सो हर बंदे के ना कुछ प्रायोरिटी एरियाज होते हैं, दैट इज़ कि उनकी एक चेकलिस्ट होती है दैट इस चेकलिस्ट के अंदर अगर लेट्स से मेरे 90% चीज़ें भी अगर चेक हो जाएंगी तो आई एम गुड विद दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू गो फॉरवर्ड विद. सही है. सो लाइक आई सेड कि वैसे ही सीए की जॉब मार्केट इज़ वेरी हेल्दी, इट्स अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग मार्केट दैट एग्जिस्ट, सो यू ऑलवेज इन डिमांड. देयर आर जॉब्स. Once you are into the industry, you are in a good company, you keep getting approached by different headhunters, and different opportunities keep coming your way. Now, when you have to decide that whether I should go for this opportunity or not, you have to first identify what is that checklist for you.
Okay.
So one is going to be the monetary aspect. Obviously, we are living in an environment, we're all humans, we need to make our financial ends meet, so there is going to be a monetary aspect. So generally, when you get an opportunity, there is a jump that is given to you to be able to convince you to move.
Okay.
Yeah. So that transfer bonus or movement bonus is part of the package. So generally, when you look for an opportunity, one aspect is that there is a monetary jump. Yeah.
Right.
Then you look at one thing that matters to me is the values that are associated with the company.
Great.
What kind of organization it is? What is the purpose of the organization? What kind of culture and values it holds? That thing you obviously get to know from the perception that that organization has in the market. like humans, organizations also, you know, develop their image, develop their brand into the market. So every company holds a brand as to if it's a good employer, it's a bad employer, it's a good culture, it's a bad culture, and that thing is a part of my checklist at least.
Okay.
Then comes the point of work-life balance, because like I said, it is important that you are aware of the bigger picture of your life, and you're not just running in one direction, chasing just one goal. You should know what is the purpose of your life, and you should take some time out every day to work on your purpose. So for me, it is important that I am not just working and just moving in one direction, and there are other goals in life that I want to achieve. So that's another point in my checklist. So once all of them checks, then that's an indication, okay, it's safe to move, and you know, it's safe to explore this new opportunity. There's one more point that I would like to highlight. So chartered accountants, they have the skill that they are very adaptable. So in articleship, because we are going to different clients every 2-3 months, you are on a different engagement, on a different job, and you're going and meeting different people, and you get to audit different industries, different companies. You develop this kind of exposure and this skill that you're okay with the change. We are very okay with the change. The change does not scare us. So it's so you know, once we have to move from one place to another place, we are very well versed with the process. And you know, it's very easy for us to go and adapt to the new place. That's another skill that chartered accountancy has, you know, brought into me.
That's wonderful, because yes, of course, change is only constant thing in life, and if few people are adaptive to change, that's the best thing. And the way you said कि आपको हर चीज structured होनी चाहिए, like you have a checklist, and that's a very good you know, suggestion which our students should note कि if you have a proper checklist और जिसमें आप देख रहे हैं कि भाई monetary benefit भी है, आपकी values भी aligned हैं, और उसके अलावा जो एक आपको mental health के लिए भी काफ़ी अच्छा एक environment provide हो रहा है, because obviously all of these things are interconnected. अगर एक भी चीज़ आपकी disbalance होती है and your, you know, logical levels are disbalanced, so it's very difficult to stay in that place. Right? So it's a good thing. And the way you are breaking all the myths for our students and us, so I would like to ask one more question. एक और perception है जो prevail करता है society में, mostly in A-level students, that we should prefer ACCA rather than CA. So इसके बारे में आपका क्या ख्याल है कि क्या ये बिल्कुल सही है? Is it more credible than CA? Is it more acceptable in international market than CA? Just tell us something about it.
It's an excellent question, because when I was exploring CA for myself, I also struggled with this, that you know, I was suggested to do ACCA instead of CA. So तब मैंने भी कुछ research वगैरह की थी, and with that research as well as my experience and my exposure till date, I think CA is a more premium qualification.
Okay.
So CA is a more premium qualification as compared to ACCA or other accountancy qualifications that are there in the market as of right now. This is again because of the competency level, be it technical competency or be it the commercial competency. All the competencies that are required to be a business leader, that's there in the chartered accountancy qualification.
Okay.
And not that we just it's you know, I'm just claiming it to be there. There are live examples in front of us. There are proven amazing business leaders who are chartered accountants, and we have examples of CEOs, we have examples of sales heads, we have examples of CFOs, and these are amazing people who are doing amazing work, and they come from CA background. So in the market, the credibility of CA qualification is so strong. And again, coming back to my previous point which I highlighted previously, that worldwide also the credibility and the reputation that Pakistani CAs have is so strong that it makes CA a more premium qualification as compared to others.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my input and my advice to the younger lot, that they should definitely explore chartered accountancy, because you have it's a qualification which has a very strong legacy attached to it. So it's always good to leverage that legacy and, you know, explore opportunities out of it.
I think you have used a very apt word that it's a premium qualification.
Yeah.
So, and I think as of now, if we see, तो अब तो CA की जो qualification है in terms of some 5 years back or maybe 10 years back. So how do you compare कि अब जिस तरह से REITs जो है institute and especially IQ is providing smart classes. So what do you think? Is it making the journey more difficult for students because they're not having the life experience of there in the class with the teacher, या फिर ये उनके लिए बहुत आसानी है that they're not they're everywhere and they get the flexibility of you listening to the lectures anywhere and everywhere and at any time. So आप क्या कहेंगे इस पे?
So I think this entire experience of providing online classes and the ability to be able to attend the classes being anywhere, this is making them future fit, because the future is digital.
Exactly.
Future is agile. Yeah. So they are providing them agility, making them comfortable with it, desensitizing them with this entire concept of being anywhere, being able to be connected and doing your thing, is a skill that the younger lot needs to be equipped with. So I think it's a good initiative, and it is very important to be future fit for the younger lot, to be able to land good jobs and to be able to fit in well into the environments that they're about to go into. So yeah.
Great. Acha, so you have a very mashallah, you have a very lucrative position in Shell Pakistan, and that's financial advisor. So at this age, how do you feel and how do you take it? Because it sounds overwhelming for a lot of people. So how do you handle this position, and is it really overwhelming, or are you really managing it well?
I think it's a journey. It's an outcome of a process. So the process polishes you so well, and the journey polishes you so well, grooms you and prepares you for it so well, that you settle in easily into such roles. So Alhamdulillah, I've settled in well, and I enjoy my work a lot. And I would not say it's overwhelming. Like I said, the organization is great, the people that I work with is great, the culture is great, my comfort is a top priority for my leaders. So it's great working with Shell, as well as like I said, the competencies they develop on the way.
Okay.
And CA also teaches you to have a learner's mindset.
Great.
So whenever you're in a spot, you know how to learn things. You are that flexible that you can learn and adapt and implement. So for a CA, if you throw them into the ocean, they're going to learn how to swim, and they're going to make their way.
Wow.
Because they develop the skill of learning and developing themselves.
Okay, absolutely. So lifelong learning is a process,
Yeah.
and you people have developed over the time. Acha, so it's joined with your designation that you are a financial advisor. So what is the job of an advisor? I mean, what do you do exactly?
So it's basically a finance business partnership role. I provide finance partnership to different departments in the organization, like the sales department, marketing department, the operations department, the network department. So they're different departments, and we make sure that we are providing them sufficient information and financial insights that helps them in taking the right decisions for the company.
Okay.
So that's kind of a summary of my role in the organization.
So in a way, you holds the responsibility of developing business in a much better way, because you have the the soundness wise, because you're from the technical side.
Yes.
And you see all of these departments.
Yeah. So we are basically the custodian of the numbers of the business, and we make sure that we take care of all the risks, the financial risks as well as the business risks that are there. We identify them, we mitigate them, and so we are kind of the custodian of the entire P&L and balance sheet of the business.
Great. Okay, so जो स्टूडेंट्स एडवाइजरी या फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजरी इसी तरह की फील्ड्स को ऑप्ट करने की सोच रहे हैं, एंड दे आर मैनिफेस्टिंग टू बी वन लाइक यू इंशाल्लाह, सो उनके लिए आप क्या सजेस्ट करेंगी, लाइक हाउ टू आई वुड से कि किस तरीके से वो अपना करियर पाथवे जो है डिज़ाइन करें, सो दैट उनका जो फोकस है वो इस फील्ड या इस प्रोफेशन से आउट ना हो, एंड इट शुड रिमेन विद इट.
So students को मैं यही suggest करूँगी कि they need to first identify that what are their strengths. So once you know that what are your strengths, focus on your strengths. हम क्या करते हैं कि हम अपनी वीकनेसेस को आइडेंटिफाई करके उनको मिटिगेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं, बट वी आर ऑल ह्यूमन बींग्स, हर किसी के अंदर फ्लॉज होते हैं, एंड वी आर सपोज टू हैव फ्लॉज, सो जस्ट एक्सेप्ट देम एंड जस्ट लेट देम बी. Focus on your strengths and see how you can leverage them, materialize them, be an opportunistic, find opportunities and go for them. And just be confident. Just be confident about yourself. You're going to learn the thing on your way. Ultimately, you will be there. So the only thing is that you have to take the first step.
Exactly.
So the process, once you're part of the process, it polishes you, it grooms you, it takes you to your place. You just have to give it time and your heart.
So eventually, you're saying that eventually you're going to get your destiny, but the thing is कि journey बहुत important है, और सबसे ज़्यादा important है कि आप जो हैं वो किस चीज़ पे focus करें. And as you said that strengths are the most important thing, जो कि usually हम overlook ही कर देते हैं और देखते ही नहीं हैं.
So अपनी strengths को ignore कर देते हैं कि हाँ चलें ठीक है, ये तो मेरे अंदर ये चीज़ है, and we start focusing on weaknesses कि ओ मेरे अंदर तो ये weakness है, मुझे इसको overcome करना है, इसको overcome करना है. So अगर आप ये करते रहेंगे तो अपनी strengths को कभी materialize नहीं कर सकेंगे, उनसे फ़ायदा नहीं उठा सकेंगे. So it is important कि जो weaknesses हैं सही है, इंसान को अपनी बेहतरी, it's a constant journey of improvement and we should keep improving ourselves, but we should also keep developing and improving our strengths. That is, we should keep grooming our strengths because that's your strong point. That's where you can easily sail your ship. So you should focus on that.
So I have a question. आपने बताया कि आप you were on job and then you got married, mashallah, and फिर भी आपने job continue की. So there is a kind of perception that corporate world में जो है usually जब आपकी शादी होती है तो आपको एक different तरीके से view किया जा रहा होता है. Maybe there's a change you might have felt or people think that you feel the change. So is there any impact, कोई impact आपने feel किया कि आप पहले भी वहाँ काम कर रही थी and then after you're married you still working in the same place. So आपने कोई change, किसी किस्म का कोई impact जो है जो आपको बहुत ज़्यादा obviously feel हुआ, ऐसा कुछ feel हुआ?
So Alia, there was a time that this used to be a barrier for women. When women used to get married, they were viewed differently. And there was a discrimination against them, and women has actually faced this discrimination because फिर उनको ये समझा जाता था कि now she will be bearing children and then obviously her focus is going to get diverted, she will not be as good for us as before. But in the past few years there has been a huge change in the corporate world through obviously policies and procedures, through the culture, through ensuring that the treatment and the environment is such that there is no such thing. So what is that change? That change is that there is a lot of focus by organizations, a conscious effort by organizations that you provide an enabling environment to women. That is, if they are going through different phases of life, that is, for example, if they are getting married, if they are in the process of bearing a child, if they are a mother to a toddler or they have young kids, they're still able to work because that should not stop them from working. That should not stop them from materializing and making use of all the hard work that they've put into in all these years and have developed a skill, have developed a competency. And even in organization, they don't want to miss out on the competencies and the skill sets that these very talented pool of women have, and only because they have a child, only because they're married, they are not able to make use of it. So that should not happen. So just to ensure it, now there are very strong policies and procedures, and there's a very strong cultural element that ensures that there's no such discrimination, and it is really, really, it's
helping and healthy.
Yeah, and it's really discouraged, and it's not liked if anyone is doing that kind of discrimination. So it's part of the trainings once you are in an organization. It's part of their ethics code. It's part of their code of conduct. You are trained that way to ensure that there is no such discrimination towards the women workforce, and every day we are thriving. We as women also, we are giving input to the companies, we are giving input to the policy makers, how the environment can be more enabling, how we can achieve more equity, how we can ensure that women stay into the workforce and they are not forced to leave. So it's a great thing that's happening. These are good times that we're working, that we're thriving towards betterment, and it's only going to get better.
Great. So I think it's a good impact which you have
Yeah.
noticed over the years.
Yeah, true.
Great. Thank you so much, Maria, for such an extensive interview and your outlook and your perception sharing with us today.
Pleasure is
And
all
it's
mine.
pleasure both ways. And I hope कि हमारे students को इससे काफ़ी फ़ायदा हो.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alia, for inviting me, and hopefully that the students can take benefit out of this. And my best of luck to all of them who are watching us. Okay.
Thank you so much. So students, ये थी मारिया, और मारिया ने आज जिस तरह हमें बताया कि स्ट्रेंथ्स पे फोकस करना और अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ को ठीक तरीके से एनालाइज करना और उन पे फ़ौरन अपना एक फर्स्ट स्टेप ले लेना is the real thing. So if you really want to aspire in this field, and if you really want to see yourself successful like her, I'm talking to all of you, not just the girls, but everyone. So you need to take your first step and you need to determine the list of your priorities as well. क्योंकि देखें, जितनी structured आपकी वर्किंग होगी, जितनी स्ट्रक्चर आपकी लिस्ट होगी, उतना आसान आपके लिए आपका करियर ऑप्शन होगा और आपकी फील्ड होगी. इसी के साथ वी आर एंडिंग द पॉडकास्ट टुडे. अल्लाह हाफ़िज़.